All right, it is August 5th. I'm a little late. Didn't get to this over the weekend, but I was on call, so that's why I'm taking my on-call day off on this Monday. Yeah, so I was just super busy. I was telling my wife I wrote a whole bunch of stuff on my whiteboard to get done because usually if your on-call is very quiet, it's got to be by a computer to help support, right? But my on-call was not quiet, unfortunately, so it was pretty active. I was feeling underslept. My on-call only goes like 6 to 6, but it was like trying to do stuff in the evening, and then I had a lot of interviews over the weekend, so I got a lot of stuff to catch you guys up on, which is super exciting for me. But just like feeling completely swamped, and then on call was busy, so I did not get to doing this video, unfortunately. But to touch on call, yeah, no one likes a busy on call, but it's always it's an exciting learning opportunity. I guess you're kind of forced into it, so that's part of it. And this is no different, right? So even though it's not something you like want to be doing, it's work. It's there's pressure, but it's at the same time I think like a really good opportunity to be learning. So kind of forces you into it, which is part of it. But at the same time, we get it done, and at the when you can reflect on it, it's like yeah, like you end up learning a lot. So I don't want to go. I don't even know if I can go into details about my on-call experience. So I won't. But it was one of those things. I'll just kind of share this, like because it's my first one where I was primary. Um, I felt as someone might expect, like my hands aren't in the code working for my team, right? I do a lot of things to help support my team. So when things are going wrong and I need to help out, it's kind of like I feel like I'm very new at all of the things. So that makes it challenging. I definitely had that experience. But by the end of the on call, there were things that I helped with. And that was like a really good, like, hell yeah kind of feeling. So literally right at the tail end of my on call, I had a hell yeah moment, which is awesome. So anyway, that's on call. Like I said, my taking my day off today. It is my 1 year anniversary with my wife, so that's awesome. We're going to go to the CrossFit Games in 2 days. So I have Wednesday through till next Monday. I think we come back. I think we come back late next Monday. So we'll be in Texas. It's going to be super hot. Um, but yeah, we're excited for that. My wife loves CrossFit. I feel like all the events are. I shouldn't say all of them. The ones that I've been told about I'm pretty disappointed in. Like they have like a 1,000 box step ups or something kind of ridiculous. So like not only would that suck for the athletes, but like that's going to be the most boring thing to watch. I can't understand why some of these CrossFit decisions are made. So anyway, I'm sure there's going to be more weightlifting. I'll be excited to see some of that. But we're very excited for barbecue food. I'm sure there's going to be lots of samples and stuff for supplements and all that kind of thing at the expo that they have there. But yeah, we're excited for barbecue food. I love warm weather. I'm sure it's going to be hotter than I am comfortable with, though. So we'll see. But we had a little incident over the weekend. So, and very unfortunate for my wife. She's okay. But she ended up, we think, fracturing her ankle while she was at CrossFit. So she had rolled her ankle and it's pretty swollen. She's got a boot on. She's got crutches right now. But I was my biggest concern. When she called me, um, when I get the call in the middle of the day and it's, "Hey, what are you doing?" I know something's not right. So I guess the good news was when she was saying that she hurt herself on the phone. The like obviously I don't want to hear that. I knew it was going to be something not good. I figured it was a vehicle issue. So it was pretty. It was like, okay, what do you need? What do you need? But the thing that kind of eased my mind a little bit was that it was not someone else calling on her behalf, right? That's a pretty scary situation to be in. So she was around people from the gym that she's friends with, so they were there to support her, but she's obviously very upset and in pain, right? So um, when I picked her up, one of the things that I was concerned about was I know that she's been really looking forward to going to CrossFit for the games, as a spectator, right? We're not competing there. So I was concerned that she was going to be of the mindset like I don't want to do it. But it was the opposite, right? She's like, no, like there's nothing stopping me from going. So I was like, okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. Obviously, not happy that she's hurt. So yeah, so had that going on, but it's not stopping us from doing what we're planning to do. And so today, just doing videos. I'm going to be recording stuff for coursework, making YouTube videos, and kind of getting her to where she needs to be. We're still kind of navigating U.S. healthcare. It's a little weird for us. So, go into a walk-in on the weekend, and then they're like, well, we can't x-ray you. You might have to go to Emerge if you want to get an x-ray and pay like a couple grand or something. We're like, well, if you look at this ankle and you're like, I'm not worried for you, like it's not broken and we got to do something ASAP. And I'm like, I don't think we're paying a couple grand to get an x-ray. Um, so yeah, she's like I said, she's got her boot on and she's moving around. So yeah, well, she'll be at a couple of appointments today. We've already done one. Probably go back to the doctor once they have the x-ray results, but things are moving along there. So yeah, let me give you an update on let me go to BrandGhost stuff first, and then I'll kind of go back to the dev leader stuff. So BrandGhost, I am moving more and more content that I have in my other no/low code solutions over to BrandGhost. Give you one quick example. So I wanted to be able to post my Medium articles. So the way that Medium lets you access stuff is kind of limited. It's a little crappy, but they do have a GraphQL API. I'm not sure if it's really public, but found that. And prior to that, though, what I was doing was on social media, like I think on Twitter, like sort of the short form content sites like Twitter, Mastodon, Blue Sky, like that kind of thing, was posting a link to a Medium article, but I could only access the last 10 articles through the RSS feed. So that's been kind of getting recycled a little bit. My Twitter activity is picking up a lot, which is awesome. That's just taken a lot of work. Literally daily, I post something that's kind of like an engaging, like debatable topic on Twitter, and I feel like those threads are really doing well. The goal is genuinely not to be clickbaity, like as a developer, what's your favorite keyboard, like that kind of bullcrap. But there's been really good discussions, and I've had people saying like bookmarking this, like lots to learn. So like that's exactly what I want. But the engagement's picking up, and as a result, some of my other posts are getting more engagement on Twitter. And Medium, I haven't been writing my blog articles, but there's 150 articles that I have on Medium. And my thought process was like, okay, I have these 10 that I'm recycling like every week, right? And it's not that I go through 10 in a week, but I don't know how many days a week I post it, but it's recycling them. And I'm like, this isn't good because no one wants to see the same thing posted over and over, especially because I have 140 other ones. Actually, I think the total number is 158. So like almost another 150 to post. So what I did was using BrandGhost. I basically used the Medium graph library. So I've integrated that into BrandGhost sort of backend. So there's no front end integration with this yet. So I'm just kind of sharing some of the code that's being worked on. Basically, I have access to the GraphQL library for Medium. Was able to get a list of all of my Medium articles. And then I took that and did a CSV export just to have a format for the types of posts that I want to have. Again, this is all kind of like manual stuff, but we do want to make sure that in the future we have like these nice integration points for BrandGhost to be able to say, hey, point at this and we can try to build something for you. We're still a ways out from having some of that, like, I don't know, like that UX, like quality of life, make it all easy. But the point is that I have 158 posts now that I can go post every single day. And I can't remember if you do the math on it. Actually, BrandGhost will tell you. If I were to log in, it will say, but I feel like it's the rate that's posting. What, that's 150. So what, call it around every 30 days. 1 month, so 3 months is 90 days. 4 months, 120, and 150 days would be 5, right? So every 5 months, that's when you'll first start to see a repeat of these posts if I post every single day, which is super cool. And Medium charges. So I pay a $5 a month fee to Medium, and I have a bunch of my articles they're paywalled, but if you're a Medium subscriber and you're only paying $5 a month, then you can read any Medium article you want. And the way that it works, as far as I understand, is that Based on how much you're viewing on Medium, your viewership will kind of spread out that total of $5 that you're paying per month. Because so if you only read one article and it happened to be mine, I think the way that it works is that I would get the $5. Obviously, not the full thing because Medium must take a cut. But that concept is like they kind of share across the articles that are getting the views from you. So to me, I'm like, it makes sense if I have more articles to share from Medium, I should have those available. So kind of a cool thing. I'll see if my Medium profits pick up, or if I get some more Medium audience built up as a result of that. We're talking like a couple of dollars, right? I think at one point I was making under, it was still under $50, and after the $5, I think $40 is the most I made in like profit before tax from Medium. So just from people going through and reading, but that's because I was posting 6 articles a week. I don't have time for that as I'm building BrandGhost. So anyway, just wanted to give you an example. The other sort of big update from BrandGhost is we are still fighting with Meta about getting our stuff approved. It's a absolute nightmare. Uh, I I would feel embarrassed for the team that like has to go manage that sort of stuff. And I don't mean like hey, you guys are idiots. I just mean like it's such a frustrating experience, and to not have someone in charge of like trying to make that better. I can't understand how this is like a an operable thing. It would feel like I feel embarrassed for the people that have to go through that because, for example, like we are professional software developers, been doing this for years, and there's a group of us, and we go submit to have Meta approve the usage of their APIs. Like we're literally calling their APIs to make our application work, and then they just review it and say like, no, we can't see how it's being used. So it's up to us to prove to them how it's being used, yet they have counters that say that their APIs are being called. So it's just like, I don't understand what the benefit of them trying to review it is. Like, look at the use case, and if you're like, that use case is acceptable, like, just give us the access to the API. Like, you can see the count going up. There's literally a count. So there were situations where like we weren't doing anything, and the API itself was incrementing counters, and we're like, clearly they're doing something. Like we don't know, but now we have to justify why we need it. So it just it sucks. The whole process feels terrible. So we're still fighting with that. We Before I started recording this, we just went through a sort of a plan of attack there. We were trying to prove some of the scopes that we were asking for. So we like literally proved that if we're missing the scope, we can't see business pages. So they're like, "Oh, you don't need it," and we're like, now we can literally say like, if we don't have it, it just doesn't work. The whole thing stops working. You can't even authenticate to have BrandGhost see the pages that you need to post to. So fundamental. And then we just walked through the Instagram use case. So we had one of the developers registered with the test account, and then we were able to kind of post content through a topic stream is what we call them. So we posted that to Instagram, and it worked. So great. Now we know we have the right scope. So we're just going to resubmit and hope. But it's been months. We've been doing this literally for months, and it's the thing that's gating our MVP. So it's very frustrating. But we're almost there. That's BrandGhost. I'm honestly pumped. I think we have something super cool here. I should mention too, there's kind of talking with a couple folks about more assistance. So trying to assemble a little dream team and make this real, because I believe in it. I think I've been proving it to myself with no/low code solutions for my entire content creation journey so far. This is the 20th month of doing it. And I can confidently say that if I did not have what we're building, like the no/low code version of it, I would not be doing what I'm doing. Would have burnt out, wouldn't have time for anything, wouldn't be across all these platforms. So I think my wife is trying to talk to me. I'm recording something. Maybe. Um, So yeah, I think that's BrandGhost. On the dev leader side, yeah, lots to update. So I mentioned I'm gonna have to do a bunch of videos today because we'll be traveling and I want to have those all sent off to the editor. So that's cool. But interviews, I did since last week. I think I did 3 interviews over the weekend and 2 last Thursday. So like 5 more interviews, just absolutely nuts. But I think the most exciting one for me is I got to sit down with Scott Hanselman and do a little interview with him, which was that's kind of like a little like lifetime achievement, I think. So super humble guy, really fun to talk to. Conversation was a little shorter than I think we both expected. That's fine though. Like no problem there. Um, it's I just really enjoy the conversation. I think that he's got a lot of unique experiences. He's got really cool perspective on things. So I have that set as a premiere right now. But, you know, depending when you're watching this video is probably uh, uh, long since been released. But yeah, I just you know reflecting on it, it was like super cool. Um, and just the opportunity, right? I think if you would have asked me like what was possible at the beginning of starting to create content, and it hasn't been long, right? This conversation was supposed to happen a couple months ago too, but it hasn't been long that I've been creating content. And I honestly, and I'm not just saying this, like, I don't think I'm not doing anything special. Like, the argument I would say is the special thing that I'm doing is being consistent. And that's something that I want to be able to, especially with Brand Ghost, is like prove to people um, that. And the reason I make these vlogs, right? Because like, who's watching these? It's basically no one, right? That's fine. But I want to be able to show that I'm gonna have all of these vlogs documenting everything along the way. You'll see every part. It's been slow, it's been painful, whatever. And then one day, because I'm gonna stay consistent, one day when someone's like, "Oh, like you were successful at this," and like it came out of nowhere, I can say, "No, I've had vlogs for 3, 4, 5, whatever long it takes. I have vlogs that are showing." Right. So I think that's the not like a superpower, but like that's the skill or the unique thing I'm doing. But it's not unique. That's like all the successful people are just doing it for a long time. You just don't see it. You just see when they are successful. So I'm really leaning into that because I believe it. Um, so that's I just wanted to share that. So yeah, bunch of interviews. I did a couple of interviews over the weekend with some of their Dome Train authors, which was really cool. So thanks to Nick Chapsis for the little network of Dome Train authors. So um, Guy, I believe is how you pronounce his name, and Amakai, two super awesome guys to talk to. Really enjoyed the conversations with them, so I'll publish those soon. Andrew Peacock was someone else I interviewed the same day as Scott. Emily Jowers, I think her Jowers or I don't think it's Jowlers. I think it's Jowers. I interviewed her last night. She's from LinkedIn. Like that's where I know her from. She's not like doesn't work at LinkedIn, but yeah, she's a staff software engineer, so she was really cool to talk to. Andrew Peacock is a sort of a see him on Threads. He's on YouTube, but like SaaS builder, kind of doing his own thing. But like, it's really cool to be able to network with these people and just like something that I don't think is obvious to a lot of people, and it was pretty apparent over the past week is like if you think about creating content in the same place as other people, it kind of seems like it's PvP. Like, oh, I gotta steal the views. Like, screw that channel. Like if you think about it, Nick Chaps has been doing this for ages, right? And I don't have the same amount of content. I don't want to say like my content is better, his is better, whatever. It's different, but it's in the same space. So we might have topics where we make videos on the exact same thing. So does that mean that we're like competitors? Sure, in some cases. Same with Milan Jovanovic, competitors in some places. But there's like there's more videos than one you can watch, and you should get different perspectives. So if the three of us all made a video on the same topic, it doesn't mean you can only watch one. So I think something that people miss is like instead of trying to attack other creators talk badly about them. Like, work together. Just work together, because so much cool stuff happens. And, you know, in these past few days, some of these other creators are like, hey, like, we should be talking more because there's probably better opportunities. We can, you know, we can help each other. And like, hearing that is so cool, because this is like, it might sound funny, but it's like, it's extremely lonely doing this. I'm talking to a camera for, I don't know what week this is, like almost week 60 or something. Maybe I'm past that now, I don't know. In my room once a week doing this, making videos, sitting in my room alone. Like, the whole thing is lonely, right? You're not, I don't have a team with me. We're not building all this stuff together. So when you have these other creators that are like, hell yeah, like, let's work together and support each other, like, that feels good. So I think that's the update. Last note I'll mention is courses are coming along. It's busy though. So that's the other thing I'm doing. I'm going to carve out time for coursework. So I will leave it there. I'm just over 20 minutes, so that's a long one, but that's the update. Sorry it's late. Not that it's going to matter to you, because this is in the future, or this video's in the past. You're watching this in the future from now. Anyway, thanks for the support. I will see you next time. Take care.